Hello, in the video. Today we're gonna take a look at the very cool team here. Like, it's actually one of my favorite teams that you can run in the Sinnoh Cup. I already ran in last time. We have the Gastron in the lead, and you see it already. We have the Spiritomb in the back, as well as my opponent has a Spiritomb here right now, which is kind of interesting. And we have the shadow version of Magnezone in the back. And this team works really good, and you're gonna see it in general as well. I went 5-0 in one set with this team. I went otherwise also always positive with this team. This team was amazing. As you see my opponent having a Sneasel here, which doesn't have any charge move that can really hit me here, and the quick moves are resisted. As we can go for one Shadow Ball, KO this thing, and we're gonna see my opponent going into a Sneasler now. Something that I didn't really want to showcase for this kind of cup, because it's kind of iffy to get, and I don't really want to showcase how you get it, so there you go. You're gonna see it here for like 1 second and then it's gone. But we see the Spiritomb now getting farmed down. My opponent has no chance anymore because Spiritomb completely destroyed him. As we go into the next opponent, we see an Empoleon lead. We saw a ton of Empoleon leads for whatever reason. As they're gonna go into a Frostless. I make this matchup, like I use this matchup pretty well recently, but like I had like one time I think that I screwed this matchup up. You will never be able to win this, but this is actually also not really the thing that you want in this kind of scenario. Because if they're on the Empoleon in the lead and they're gonna go into their, into their Frostless, usual case is that they're gonna have a Driftblim in the back. Meaning your Magnezone is basically a free win because nobody expects a Magnezone in the current meta. Magnezone had so many times where it just swept everything. And you're mostly gonna see it here as well. We can go into our Magnezone, we can farm this thing down and getting 2 sparks here. Having access to Wild Charge and the Mirror Shot is amazing, as you're gonna see here by Empoleon. And they will definitely have the Driftblim in the back. This is such a common team that's double weak to Electric, and I take advantage of this, and I really happily take advantage of this. And this is also, by the way, how this team can work. You have a Pokemon in the lead that is pretty decent against every fighting type, because every fighting type is weak to the ground typing, and you have a lead that really doesn't want to face any flying types, and you have a Pokemon in the back that really wants to face any flying type. So it's just a very nice synergy here at this point of time, as we're gonna go for one bait here. As I'm mostly gonna shield. Yep, they're gonna shield the snail. As I can go for one Shadow Ball. Do they let this move go through or do they not? They're gonna shield this as well. Can we still get to an Omnius Wind? It's gonna look really bad where you still get there, but this doesn't KO, right? Like, there's no way. Never mind, it actually still did way more than I expected. Like, usually Omnius Wind is one of the worst possible moves, but like, this worked out way too good, as they're gonna go into a Driftblim again. We have our Magnezone in the back again, and we just gonna go ahead, go for the Wild Charge, and they just gonna go and kinda surrender. Not really, they still try to farm me down, which doesn't really help them too much, as there's not a lot that they can do. As they can see here, you're gonna do a lot of damage with the Mud Slap, and you can go for one Body Slam, which easily gonna be able to win this game there. Into the next game, we're gonna have the Gastron in the lead. This is kind of horrible. That's kind of not what you want to see. I mean, it's better to have it here, I guess, but of course, Gastron is the only really hard answer towards the Magnezone, but it's a pretty common answer, so getting this thing out is good, but like, you have to really KO this thing as well. So yeah, we have to see if we can actually take advantage of this matchup. They're gonna go ahead and go for more Body Slams. Even if I don't win this matchup, I just don't want to line my Gastrodon against their Gastrodon, so I'm fine going for the Body Slam. They let it go, which is really nice for me, and I can now swap into the Spiritomb. But this doesn't look too good either, to be honest. I don't think we're gonna be able to win this, because they do have still one shield. If we get like the boost here, we might be able to still win this, but we don't get the boost. I haven't got a single boost in the entire video, by the way, with this Pokemon, and we see here, by the way, the Lucario, which is even worse for my Magnezone in the back. But yeah, I didn't get a single boost in this video. You will not see a boosted Spiritomb whatsoever, even though I used the Omnius Wind a lot of times. I was just not lucky with this. Can we still survive one Shadow Ball with our Shadow Magnezone? We actually will be able to do this, but if we had a normal Magnezone, we would have won this game, but we don't have a normal Magnezone, so we're gonna lose this game. Totally fine. I think maybe normal Magnezone is also a little bit better in this kind of meta, because you're gonna one-shot most things anyway with the Wild Charge. Doesn't matter if you're Shadow or normal, because usually they're just either super squishy or it's like super effective against them, so should be fine. They're gonna go ahead, go into their Empoleon here. That's kind of awkward for me, but they're gonna shield this up at least, which is good. And I can farm them all the way down with my Gastrodon, hopefully now. I hope that I can farm down at least. I don't think I can actually farm you down here, right? Think you get to move still? Yep. That's kind of annoying, but I have to shield here. I'm going to be able to go for some body slams, but this doesn't look too good. I'm actually going to swap out immediately because maybe I need the other move in the back as well someday. The Earth Power, maybe there's something in the back that I can hit with this, as we see a Toxicroak coming in. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here anymore. I tried to go for the bait here, maybe they shield. Are they already at a move? I hope they're not. But they are, and we lose this game. If they weren't at the move, I think I might still have a chance to farm down the Bombers now, but I'm not sure. Like this, there's literally no way to win this. So, good game there. They have move stored. Maybe I would have been actually able to farm down. I don't know. We will never find out, because we're gonna lose this game here, sadly. As we see the next Pokemon gonna be Empoleon again. That's totally fine for us. We can just go for the Mud Stabs. We see a Cresselia coming in and we go into a Spiritomb. This matchup, of course, is also kind of interesting as the opponent gonna have Moonblast. I'm just gonna let this move go through because I know Hisui won here. We are basically like, what's it called? Like a Sableye with this Pokemon, as we are gonna be able to also go for a Shadow Ball here. Boom, KOing the Cresselia, but we are part Dark typing, we are part Ghost typing like the Sableye. But, of course, we have a little bit worse kind of movesets. Of course, having Shadow Ball is kind of cool, though. But I wish I had, like, Shadow Claw, which I think it would actually learn as well. So it's kind of sad that it doesn't learn it here. As we see the Gallade coming in, a very interesting Pokemon. They actually do a lot of damage with the Confusion, which is kind of crazy because it's resisted. But, of course, it's Shadow versus Shadow. And Confusion is a very high damage move, so does make sense that it still does a lot of damage, but we can go for some mirror shots here, and that's already enough to KO the Magnezone, the Gallade here easily. So bye-bye Gallade, and we see the Empoleon coming in. There's nothing that they can do. One mirror shot should be enough to put him into range to KO him. I don't think it actually KOs, right? Yeah, it doesn't KO, but like one more spark does, so that's a good game there. Next up, we're gonna see Gastrodon against a Driftblim. Horrible lead. We're gonna swap immediately into our safe swap, the Sinnoh Sableye Spiritomb, as we get greeted by basically the worst possible answer here as well, because while there is nothing really that can resist anything or like is a hard wall to Spiritomb, other than maybe Munchlax. Yeah, Munchlax and Togekiss maybe, but they're so rare in the meta, like I barely see them. So it's kind of awkward because now, yeah, of course, this thing can just go for a charge mode and farm me down and just has way better stats. I'm gonna, as you see here, I'm just not gonna throw again. Like, I would have been able to get an extra move through, but I didn't want to because I wanted to farm down. But now they're gonna go into Drapion. And this doesn't look too good, to be honest. I'm gonna have to go for some baits here. Maybe they call the bait, which is kind of sad, but I can go for more baits. I hope that I get more defense attack drops. I actually got really unlucky in general in this video, I feel like. Like all the odds that I had, like double boosting or like debuffing with Mirror Shot, like it really barely happened at all, which is kind of sad. Well, it's fine as we can go for another Mirror Shot here, getting another shield from my opponent. We can go ahead and shield the Crunch. I wanted to swap out here, but I didn't do it in time, which is kind of sad. But I also didn't want to give the opposing Driftblim enough farm, as they're gonna go ahead and farm me down here, and this is a good game. Yeah, kind of sad. I needed to store one move there with my Magnezone in case I needed the Wild Charge for the Driftblim, but it didn't happen. It's fine. We see, I think here's the game that I misplayed because I went into the wrong Pokemon, because they are actually not able to farm this thing down now, which is kind of sad. They go for a Shadow Ball, which is nice. Now I am able to farm down as far as I know, but I still have to take one Avalanche here, even though it's now debuffed. It's still resisted and still does so much damage. We're gonna go ahead, go for one move here, which gonna be the Mirror Shot. Gonna get the shield from my opponent. We can still get to a Wild Charge. I guess it's also a fine way to play this, as they're gonna also just keep it, and let's see what they have in the back. It's most likely gonna be the Driftblim, I would guess. So we can swap out. Yeah, I guess we should still win this. So I think we are fine. Never mind. Maybe I didn't screw it up here. We should be fine here. as my opponent gonna go for one Icy Wind. Totally okay, we can go for one Shadow Ball. And we should be fine here. This definitely KOs my opponent. And they still have to throw against me or with the Empoleon, which I don't think even would KO from this range. So I should be able to even get to a Shadow Ball. But they decide to surrender prior. Totally fine for me. Next up, we're gonna see another Empoleon. So many creative teams. And we see a Spiritomb against the Frostless now. Wow. I wonder what they have in the back. It's not on loop, it's just like the creativity in this kind of meta right now. Everybody runs the same stuff, as we're gonna go ahead, go for an Omnious Wind here. Ominous Wind. I always say it like wrong and I always write it wrong. But it's, yeah, definitely my favorite move. But again, like, we go for so many moves here and like never they boost, which is kind of sad. Because, like, why not? Why don't give me the boost? But we're gonna be able to go ahead, go into our Magnezone again, we're gonna be able to spark him down, and we're gonna be able to go for some wild charges against whatever wants to come in, which is, in this case, again, the Empoleon. Let's go for one wild charge. Any guesses what is in the back? Maybe a Driftblim, just maybe. Ah, creativity, it's just so nice. But yeah, Magnezone likes the not so much creative teams here, because Magnezone literally beats all the Pokemon on this team, which is kind of insane. As we see a Driftblim lead, okay, finally not an Empoleon lead. We're gonna swap into our Spiritomb. They are staying in and going for an Icy Wind. Okay, they're pretty low now. Basically already close to range for like even a mirror shot. As they're gonna go ahead, go into a Drapion. That's fine for me. I can go for one Shadow Ball. Does actually still, even though we debuffed a lot of damage, I can still get to one more move. And they might be scared that I would be able to farm down here. So they're gonna go ahead and shield this, which I'm totally fine with, as I'm just gonna go ahead, let this move go through. It's gonna be an Awkward Tail, and I can just go into my Gastron and farm down. I don't want to shield here whatsoever. Even if they get to another move, I will not shield here at all, as they're actually still gonna get to another move. But again, I'm just gonna let everything go. It's gonna be Crunch again. We had a 1 HP and a Dream. We can swap out into our Magnezone, as they're gonna go into the Driftblim. They're gonna go into a Bastion, but look, this doesn't really look too good. I have to hope that I get a like attack drop here with the Mirror Shot, and I'm actually able to get this, which is, I guess, kind of lucky. As we're gonna go ahead and shield this Flamethrower up. And yeah, like, we are so squishy, like there's nothing I can do here really. I have to go for some hard-hitting moves here. Finally, with a Wild Charge, I still have to build up more energy. Maybe I should have even built up more energy than this. But yeah, like, this doesn't really look too good. I'm gonna go ahead and go for another Mirror Shot here, but we are already so debuffed, like there's nothing I can do here really. I'm gonna swap out real quick. But yeah, like, at this point, I can still get to the move, just barely. That was kind of insane. So we're still going to be able to win this game here. Good game, opponent. And going into the final game here, we have Frostless in the lead against us. We can go ahead and go into our own Spiritomb, as they're going to go ahead and go into their Lucario. And this was way too fast. This is definitely not a Shadow Ball. And a Power Punch doesn't really hurt me too much. So we're gonna go ahead and go for the bait Omnious Wind, because we already did so much damage with our fast moves, even though it's resisted with a Sucker Punch. As we're gonna be able to go for 2 Omnious Winds and might get 2 shields from my opponent here, which would be amazing. Let's see. They're gonna actually let this move go through, which is fine for me. As I'm gonna actually also let this move go through, as it's a Power Punch and it still doesn't put me into a range where it can farm me down. And now we are both at the same kind of level, as we're gonna go into the Magnezone and they go into a Toxicroak. Like, this is horrible now, because we basically have the wrong matchups now, and yeah, this game is kind of over. Like, there's not a lot that I can do there. There's also a 50-50 chance if they went to the Frostless or went for the right play. And I also didn't know if they had the Toxicroak in the back, but it doesn't make sense. Like, this team is also super common. Just, yeah, it's so super common, by the way. It's like Frostless and Double Fighter. It's like everywhere. But still, good game to my opponent here. Nothing really I can do anymore, as I can try to farm down, but what's the deal with that? I can go for one Mirror Shot here. I need to have a debuff here, but it doesn't debuff, so we're still gonna lose this game. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. It's gonna definitely KO me already. And we will see. Oh, never mind. We're still gonna win the final game, and this is gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.